And just like that, I am saying hi with my first solo Unstuck Club that I didn't know what was going to come of it. And yesterday, feeling myself get unstuck, I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm going to edit it out.
Okay, promise me.
Promise. I promise I'm going to edit it. I love you, my boy. You're working hard.
Pause out.
You can let pause out, of course. This has become important to me. Just to do it exactly like this, which I'm thrilled about. And also, I am making myself a hot chocolate at the moment, well, a cocoa powder. And I use so much cocoa that I literally buy it like this. So, such a beautiful dynamic. Yesterday, I needed to do some writing. It was something that I've planned for a while. If you're following me anywhere on social media, you'll see that I've become really nice and active again. And one of the things that I do not speak about enough is my past life tarot readings, as much as I love them. So I've been pondering the question of why do I love them so much, but I don't speak about them enough. And yesterday was the day to put a post out, and it took so much, right? And everything that it took, it triggered what is now absolutely termed food noise. I sat down. I wanted to write half a sentence, but then I was like, I have to put something in my mouth. I have to eat. I tried my very, very best to focus on what I wanted to do. I tried to convince myself. I tried to do so many different techniques of you're doing what you love. Speak to your ego. We've got this. We're being brave together. But nothing stopped my desire and my need to eat. So the big thing with food noise is that, in my understanding, it's very important to say in my understanding, for me, food noise is, it doesn't matter whether you're hungry or not, you want to eat. It doesn't matter whether, or you don't even know how to decipher what you feel like or what serves you or what you just are going to absolutely unconsciously put in your mouth. And slowly, over time, I honestly believe that there's more and more awareness, which I'm absolutely thrilled about, that this is not, you just don't have willpower, right? It's not about that. People are now really, medical professions, medical scientists are starting to now acknowledge that actually it's a bigger thing, and there is something called food noise. And in all the investigation that's being done about the GLP-1s and all of that kind of stuff, better attention has been drawn to it. This is not about GLP-1s. This is about my understanding of how to manage my food noise. And absolutely, admittedly, it's not an easy thing to manage. And one thing that has become so clear to me is that it's not about forcing myself not to eat. So if you are stuck in food noise and you're trying to stop yourself from eating, I believe and I feel, so this is what happens with inside me, it actually, it exasperates my anxiety like you cannot believe. And then I can actually feel it within my system. And then I can't function and I can't work and I just can't operate. But what is so important to understand is that this is related directly to the ego, no matter which way. And I'm not going to take credit for that. I wish I could. But my incredible business partner, who has been my bestie and has been with me through 20 years of figuring out my body, my relationship with food, all these different kind of things, he brought to my attention, no matter what it is, it's always returning to ego. And I had to sit with that for a while, and I had to figure out what that meant. To me, and what it means to every single person who is struggling with that food noise. And I'm saying this with such gentleness because the ego needs gentleness. The ego needs kindness in order to not trigger the next thing, right? But it will always be ego. We will always do something out of ego if we are not managing our mind, and our mind is managing us. And if you or me or anyone that you know does not have the ability to quiet the mind and feel into, am I hungry? Do I know what I want to eat? Is it serving me? Then that's food noise. And that is ego, no matter what, right? The sensitivity and the deep compassion to that is that it is not so easy to manage that ego and manage that noise. And this is what happens. And I witnessed it. I watched it happen. This unconscious eating, which is exactly what I'm going to call it, this unconscious eating will stem from some kind of trigger. It could be a chemical trigger, it could be an emotional trigger, and it could also be a hormonal trigger. But something is going to trigger inside of your system, and what happens is an unconsciousness kicks in. Okay, and with that unconsciousness comes the root of where that unconsciousness stems from. So, is it hormonal imbalance that is the root? Is it wounds from the past, being victimized, the wounded child, memories of being hurt, abandoned, scared, all those different kind of things? Does it come from that? Or is it anxiety? Is it fear? Whatever it is, it's going to be this battle between self-worth and self-esteem. When you are worthy, you do the healthy, better, good thing for yourself all the time. You are not unconscious in your actions when you are worthy. And the tough thing is, I honestly and truly know that I am worthy, but something still kicks in that makes this noise come about. I have worked really, really hard, especially by going into my personality blueprint. Hang on. By going into my personality blueprint to know exactly where my unconscious eating comes from. For every single one of us in our birth chart, when we look, we're going to have to look at Saturn, because Saturn is the master of boundaries, and this is about boundaries with yourself, with your body, with food, with all those different aspects. It is going to be Taurus all the time, because Taurus is about your values, how you value yourself, how you value your body, and also it's about survival. How do you eat? Do you eat for survival? Do you overeat because you do not feel that there is a sense of protection, and survival is something that you anchor into and hold on to so desperately? And then the other place that we look as a life theme, which is the sixth house of balance, because that is about daily routine. That is about how you eat, how you exercise, how you take care of yourself. I have worked through all of that, and I am so grateful that I do have the ability to manage my eating noise. I have the ability to. So I could do it yesterday, but in being able to do it yesterday, so much awareness and empathy kicked in, that it was a conversation that I have to have, because I'm surrounded by people who I absolutely love, who do not have the capacity to quiet the food noise, where I have the capacity to, because of my depth of understanding of myself and how hard I have worked to be able to do that. And something that's so important is I do not eat. I eat. I took an entire cauliflower head and an entire broccoli head, and I put some nice spices on it, and I wrapped it up. My favorite way of steaming food is to put a little bit of water at the bottom of the bowl, wet a towel, a dish towel, always a very, very clean dish towel, wrap it up, put it in the microwave, and steam my food that way. That's what I did. And then afterwards, I sprinkled some goat's cheese on top. And while I worked, I ate. I did not eat. I ate. Is it my desire to get to the point to be able to do brave work, which is so interesting because it's another conversation that I've had with Greg, where he always goes, but was that really so brave for you? And I'm also witnessing that. I'm witnessing why my ego takes something that actually is not complicated for me to do and makes it feel like it's such a big, brave thing to do. And I'm still working on that. So I'll let you know when I figure it out. But this is exactly what getting unstuck is. Getting unstuck is becoming as absolutely curious about yourself as you possibly can. And this is what I got to watch yesterday, because I am a really passionate writer. I cannot be eating the entire time while I'm writing. It is very important for me to get to the point of not eating and not falling into the food noise while I'm writing. And that is what I am genuinely working on at the moment. To get unstuck from the food noise, I believe that you cannot isn't the right word. I believe that you do not need to do it on your own. I really and truly do. I believe that either it's to have an accountability buddy, or it's to absolutely go into the depths of understanding yourself through the personality blueprint to see what creates the food noise, what part of my actions and responses can I do differently in order to learn to manage the food noise, or to go and be assessed, to talk to a therapist in some kind of way, to have blood tests run to see, is this food noise hormonal? When I unpack it, is it emotional? When I go into the depths of it, is it genuinely just low self-esteem, and it's time for me to build a better, healthier relationship with myself, right? But what's very important to sink in, for you to truly allow yourself to hear, is that it is not something that doesn't have the capacity to be resolved. It is easy to say, I've always had food noise. I live with food noise. Every time I try and sort it out, I relapse back. Or I'm so happy with who I am. I don't mind that I have an unconscious relationship with my body or an unconscious relationship with food. We should not have an unconscious relationship with anything. Not an unconscious relationship with your body, not an unconscious relationship with food. If you are doing any of that, then your mind is managing you and you are not managing your mind. And it's stemming from something, it's stemming from a root. So it's stemming from some kind of a wound or a trigger. But what will happen then is that when you try and do something different and you don't manage to do something different, then you trigger into shame. Now it's not about, oh, this is the original wound and I'm trying to work on healing the original wound and having a better relationship with myself and with food. Then it becomes about, I tried and I failed and I tried and I failed. I can't tell my friends one more time that I tried and I failed. I can't even admit to myself again that I tried and I failed. So then I'm just not going to try, or I'm not going to tell anybody that I did try. And now you are perpetuating shame. And as soon as you activate into shame, you activate into addictive behavior. The addict, you cannot separate the addict from shame, because anything that you do that is addictive is always going to be trying to numb the shame that you are trying to just push aside. And that is coming from not having a strong enough belief that you are worthy enough, strong enough, confident enough, resilient enough. That is the most important word, that you are not resilient enough to be able to do something to overcome this. Food noise, absolutely, there is the capacity to overcome food noise. No matter what. We do not have to be held hostage by food noise. And this is where there are different ways to get it done. And this is where it's so important to see what fits best for you, whether it's understanding yourself and navigating, really consciously navigating to overcome the food noise by yourself, having the accountability buddy, going into some kind of therapy, exploring whether these GLP-1s are for you in any way, shape or form. As I'm saying, I'm completely neutral to everything, but what I do know is that to get unstuck from food noise is something that takes a huge amount of self-love, self-respect, and worthiness. And actually, it doesn't have anything to do with willpower, because if low esteem and willpower had to arm wrestle, every single time low esteem would win. And another thing that's so important is it doesn't matter what route you take. Even if you do take a route where medication is involved, or any kind of support is involved, it's so important to know that if you don't get to the root cause of why you emotionally eat or there is food noise, the food noise will just return, and you don't want it to return. So actually, the unstuckness is about giving yourself the opportunity to understand where that food noise comes from. And obviously, this is where I would really and truly want to help you and want to support you, especially because I've done it, but I continue to have to do it all the time. The noise comes in, I have to make another plan, something else shifts. And don't think that I have not had times where I have eaten things that I just haven't eaten for such a long time, and allowed myself to completely let go of my values and my relationship with my food, my relationship with my body, because something has triggered me so deeply and the food noise has gotten so loud. And I'm not talking about something that happened a year ago or something that happened 2 years ago. I'm talking about something that happened weeks ago. And this is continuous, and it doesn't end, but there is no quick fix to it. But at the same time, food noise is a real thing. It's a real thing. And you've got to give yourself the gift of finding ways to heal it, finding ways to build a relationship with yourself, a relationship with food, a relationship with your body. Because if you don't, then your mind is managing you and you are not managing your mind. So this is the Unstuck Club in a different way, which I'm just so thrilled about. I didn't see it coming. I really and truly didn't. I was making notes and strategizing, and I had plans and I had visions and I had all this kind of stuff. And here I am. If you have supported the Unstuck Club from the beginning, I am so thrilled that you are here and that you are going to continue to support it. And if I fall quiet, I'm a huge fan of accountability. Encourage me. And something else is, if you have gotten unstuck in any way, or if you don't know how to get unstuck about something, and you are willing to join me on the Unstuck Club, I would love to have you. I would love to either hear your story, and I know everybody else would love to hear your story, or I would love to, in this space together, help you get some clarity on how to get unstuck. This is what I'm here for. And please subscribe, follow me, share this on to anyone who you think might need it. And with that, goodbye.